It really feels like it's just the other day that we were saying it's the 1st of January. And now here we are with one day left in the month of May.
Summertime.
And then summertime.
Look at that.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
What a time ago. It ain't raining on anyone.
Can't believe it.
Seriously, we're at May 30, ladies and gentlemen, Bridge Nation. And we're here to take care of you until 10 o'clock. My name is Richie B. Good morning to you.
Blessings, Bridge Nation. You know this is your boy Shells.
Peace and love. DJ RD's here.
All right. So how was the weekend? Everybody had a good one?
Yeah, man, we give thanks.
Yeah.
We give thanks.
You
yeah,
weren't
man.
in that crowd outside of Footloose trying to get in on Saturday night?
No, Richie. You know, one party me go up on a weekend, you know. And I'm supposed to know in a Bridge Nation. Bedrock and Pillow Jam. Exactly.
Which means neither were you at what's it? 2K.
I saw the videos though.
2K. Yeah.
Hey, promoters are smile all across the island. I don't know, every party just like it's well supported.
Mocha Fest too.
Mocha Fest.
Yeah.
In the West.
Look at that.
Yeah. A lot of big events on the past weekend, and all of them seem to have been good money spinners. Yeah. We're proud of that and happy for the promoters.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, it's a good look. Mm-hmm. Well, the other side of the coin is what might happen in terms of our COVID numbers.
Oh, boy.
Let us hope that those do not show any sign of increase.
Yeah, for real.
All right, so we're going to take care of you. Jojo is not with us this morning. We say good morning to her, and we hope that you're doing well.
Yes, Queen.
And we'll get all the things you need to get done today, even if it's some rest. So good morning to you, Jojo. Morning, Bridge Nation. We're here with you until 10. Keep it locked. Let's continue with WTF.
What the fact? Now I'm telling you this already. If you ever see a creature gallop, don't be surprised because here are crocodiles. Yeah, crocs them out. The crocodiles can gallop like a horse. So yes, it's likely horses, you picture, bounding across the landscape, not something scaly and low to the ground. However, studies published in Nature in 2019 noted that crocodiles have the full range of quadrupedal footfall patterns used by mammals, meaning that they have the ability to gallop like a horse. And occasionally, they do. Now, of course, they don't look quite as graceful, but they can reach speeds of up to 11 miles per hour. So, yeah, me here's a crocodile could have bark. I never know that. I know me here's a down that them can gallop.
11 miles per hour.
No speed, that me can't run it. You can't run 11 miles per hour.
I've never seen that though.
I don't want to see it though.
No, seriously. I mean, I'm tempted to go to YouTube or something and see if I could see what that looks like.
Elsha peeps. That's how it go. That's how it go, Elsha peeps. What I do?
I can understand that they wouldn't look nearly as graceful as horses, though.
Sir. Something about that not look right.
Yeah, trust me. All right, but that's a fact. And those are the kinds of facts we share with you at this time every weekday morning in Up and Go. The fact is, crocodiles can gallop like a horse, although they don't get to much faster speeds than about 11 miles per hour. Time now for update at 6:31 and a half. Let's do it.
Yeah. All right. Love the already, man. But anyway, so here we go on. Sean Paul, the general himself, salutes Drake and Rihanna for doing positive things for reggae and dancehall. Now, Sean Paul says he isn't hating on international artists like Drake, Rihanna, and even Ed Sheeran for putting out reggae and dancehall songs, but he wants more public respect for Jamaican genres. Now, Sean Paul has been a busy man of late. You don't know, so man dropped his 8th studio album, Scorcher, which has some heavy hitters in the music arena like Ty Dolla $ign, Sia, Gwen Stefani, Shenseea, Damian Marley, and Tovlo, just to name a few. And of course, he continues to tirelessly put in the effort for Jamaica and dancehall. And Sean Paul still feels that a lot can be done when it comes to getting respect for the genre. Now, the platinum-selling artist acknowledged that dancehall has grown so much as a genre that it could now be heard in a lot of modern music, including hip-hop and pop music. And that can clearly be seen when artists like Ed Sheeran or Drake present new beats, as the dancehall influence is clearly, obvious in them. Now, Sean Paul added that even the sultry songstress I'm a One-Time Love, Rihanna, has used dancehall in her beats. Something he says he understands because of the type of music she grew up on in Barbados. Styles. Now, the Temperature DJ said that he has a lot of respect for Drake, especially because of his affiliation with Popcorn. Now, he admitted that he's never met the OVO boss, but he believes Drake is doing positive things for the genre. However, another issue he highlighted was the way that Jamaican artists are treated at award shows. Paul said that, look, it's an area that needs to be looked at, and that there is no reason that Jamaica should not be given the same respect that other countries get. So yeah.
Okay. Well,
said.
no beef between himself and Drake. And certainly not with Rihanna either. Yeah.
It's a good look.
Yeah,
All man just I say, just respect the craft, because it's obvious that these big stars that who the award shows welcome love our music. So give our artists some credit and give them the spotlight.
Simple.
Yeah.
I find that these days Sean Paul is becoming much more vocal.
I like it.
Yeah,
I actually like it. I actually like it for real.
And whenever he speaks, it's making a whole lot of sense. Yeah. So is the man Shaggy too, for that matter. And dancehall megastar Shaggy was not only conferred with his honorary Doctor of Fine Arts degree from Brown University, but he also went on to put on a mini reggae dancehall show to huge cheers from excited students and academic staff during the institution's undergraduate class of 2020 commencement ceremony. The bombastic singer was one of 9 persons who received honorary doctorates from Brown University, which is one of the leading Ivy League research universities in the United States. This is big for Shaggy, and for all of us by extension. Shaggy was met with resounding cheers from students as he approached the podium for his degree and citation. And I'm going to take you to that moment when the citation was in fact being read. Here's what was said.
I have the great honor to present for the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts, honoris causa, Orville Shaggy Burrell. Degree, come on. Orville Shaggy Burrell, your style, your voice, and your influence on reggae and the genre's growth in American pop culture cannot be overstated. You're recognized the world over for your success as a musician. Your leadership and dedicated philanthropy through the Shaggy Makes a Difference Foundation has inspired peers and musical legends to join you in concert to raise funds for those in need. The Shaggy and Friends concerts have raised more than $100 million in equipment for the Bustamante Children's Hospital in Jamaica. For your accomplishments as a recording artist and your service to others, we honor you with the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts. By the authority vested in me, I confer upon you the degree of Doctor of Fine Arts and all rights and privileges pertaining to this degree I give to you. And in witness of this, I collegially give you this diploma.
Let's hear it for Shaggy. Let's hear it for Shaggy.
Yeah.
Mr. Orville Burrell.
Come on.
Yeah, conferred with his honorary Doctor of Fine Arts degree.
Wow.
From an Ivy League university, Brown University.
Wow.
Big moment for him.
Yeah, man, look, boss, it is one of them shades and crowd. It sounds like a concert.
Yeah, well, it's gonna be. It turned out to be just that. And now it's time for us to get inside of our proverb of the day. Let us work through that, Shells.
Are we for a treat?
Yeah, man.
Fun?
Jordan the day.
All right, so here go on. It's like a weird for me to read now. Ready? If you want half a bread, beg it. If you want one, buy it yourself. Let me say it again. If you want half a bread, beg it. If you want one, buy it yourself.
Sound like some of that your words too.
I don't even know what that means.
Well,
but the meaning is, if you want a job done right, do it yourself. I don't get the correlation.
If you want half a bread, beg it.
Right.
If you want one buy it yourself.
So I guess that's a whole lot of bread, then you buy it yourself. Okay.
If you want a job done right, do it yourself.
I don't know if this is Jamaican either.
Like a
This-
distant relative. Yeah. But that's what's up, ladies and
Yeah.
gentlemen. That's the meaning of that proverb. If someone said to you, if you want half a bread, beg it. If you want one, buy it yourself. Don't misinterpret it. They're not being rude or anything like that. What they're really saying is if you want a job done right, you might want to do it yourself. All right? Sounds fair.
All right.
All right, and now we'll move on to our pet peeve. Is it from a male or a female? We're going to find
That's
out.
right.
Somebody has a pet peeve. This could be something that they find irritating, upsetting, annoying. Let's find out from one of our bridge.
Nation.
Yeah.
My major pet peeve is seeing people spit in the street, spit through windows, just spit anywhere outside. It is absolutely disgusting. And if I see you spitting outside, I'll just never be a friend again. Like, it's over for us.
Simple.
Is she taking serious?
Simple.
I think that is the most annoying thing that she has encountered in her life. Yeah, she will write off friendship just for that.
Listen.
Hello.
Yeah.
Remember, tell you she sounds serious
Yeah,
when I
man.
hear that.
Yeah, man.
I don't.
Yo, friendship done.
I don't want to disturb, the Bridge Nation.
With good reason.
But I don't want to disturb the Bridge Nation. But the one that bother me, the one with the hack to. That's what I call them, the hack to. You don't know what I'm talking about? Where it sound like that come from way back. Way back from the back of the head. Shit. I know, sir. I don't know how I can tolerate it like watching football, but like I'm sitting a person. It's like, Jano. I don't remember. I think we shared that story with our.
We might have before. Footballers do it a lot, though.
Yeah, but it's kind of understandable, I guess. And playing in some conditions where, can affect the nasal passage and whatever. But my mother can't stand it, man. Tell you. Yeah. Like, why mafia pit so? It's like, mommy, the man in my work. We don't know.
We will be having a chat with Junior Minister and Opposition Spokesperson for Health and Wellness, Mr. James Clarke of the People's National Party, obviously. He is requesting that the Minister of Health, Dr. Christopher Tufton, urgently rectifies the crisis facing the nation in terms of health. His claim is that while the new Parliament building that is soon to get on the way in terms of construction is necessary, it should not be given priority over increasing staff members, bed capacity in hospitals, and the diagnostic capabilities of our laboratories to improve the health system. Mr. Clarke actually went on to say quite a bit more, and we're going to engage him in a conversation right now so he can further express some of the concerns that he has. Good morning and welcome, Mr. Clarke. How are you doing today?
Hey, good morning, and good morning to your listeners.
Thank you for joining us, my brother. Myself, Richie B, and of course, Shells will be asking you a few questions this morning.
Greetings, Mr. Clarke.
Yes, greetings.
First of all, elaborate, if you will, a little bit more on some of the issues that you see affecting our nation's health at this time.
All right, so the major thing that is facing our health system right now is that we are short-staffed, and we have a lot of graduates who have passed the exams and everything and have been licensed, and the government isn't employing anybody else at the moment right now. If you go to most of the accident and emergency areas in most of your major hospitals, you have patients who have been admitted to the hospital who don't have a bed. They have on chairs or on benches in the A&E department.
Yes, go ahead.
No, you also have persons who, so for example, the cervical cancer screening that women have to do. If you do it in the public, if you do it privately, you can get back the results in 3 days or maybe a week, the most. But if you do it in the public system, you have persons who have been waiting for the results over a year. So that is really the state that the healthcare system is in. And it's something I think the public needs to know, and we need to be very honest and frank with them that it's really in a bad state. A lot of the equipment in hospitals, they're not working. So, for example, you might go to a hospital and you have to go to a private, be transported. So you might have to pay the transportation for ambulance to take it to a private institution to have X-ray done or MRI done, and then be transported back to the hospital where you're admitted. So that is what the public is facing when they get ill, and I think we can do much better. And we shouldn't allow it to continue.
And so it seems that you therefore have a problem with, so to speak, with a new parliament building being built, which will cost obviously millions of dollars. Is it a case where you feel that those funds would be better utilized by allocating them to the health sector?
Yeah, yes, absolutely. I mean, while I agree that we might have outgrown the parliament that we have, I think it would be a small sacrifice to continue to use that parliament for the time being and to fix some of these immediate issues that are affecting the general population and the population that we represent.
All right. I understand. Now, Mr. Clarke.
And there's
go ahead, sir.
several other areas that we can cut back on, and it's just that we have to get our priorities right, you know. Do we need to print new money now, or we could use that money to improve the healthcare system or improve education? You know, it's things like that. You just have to get your priorities right, and then, and it helps to build trust with the population too as well, because a major problem with the population is anti-tax and anti-government. It's because the taxes that they've been paying already, that they are not benefiting from it, and I don't see how it's been spent properly.
Now, Mr. Clarke, I'm curious. As it relates to free healthcare, do you believe that it's something that's sustainable at this time?
No, I'm a strong believer in free healthcare. I'm also a strong believer in free education. I believe that if you have a population and you're collecting taxes from them, the basic thing that you can do for them is to ensure that they're educated and that they're in good health, because of the spin-off effects that will have for you too as well, and the economy on a whole. So the human resource is the most important resource in any country. So you have to ensure that they are healthy and that they are well educated. So I'm a believer in free healthcare. However, you have to put sufficient funding behind it to support it. You can't just say you're having free healthcare and just expect it to manage itself and to fund itself. So it might mean that you have to put it as top priority and might have to sacrifice cut back in other areas to ensure that you have proper health care.
I want to focus a little bit, if you will, on the COVID-19 pandemic. And I have to ask you, do you believe the government, maybe some would say, relaxed certain measures too early? What are your thoughts on that?
I think the government cave under the pressure that they were feeling from probably certain sectors of the country, and I think that they could have done better finding a balance. So, for example, we could have still continued wearing our mask, which is a very important step in preventing transmission and also contraction of the virus. So, absolutely, we could have still allowed some of the measures to stay in place, but while we continue to adjust and to reopen the country, it's something that you'd have to do gradually. But the major thing that we'll have to do is to ensure that we have a robust healthcare system, so that whether it's COVID or the next thing that is coming, whether it's monkeypox or dengue or whatever it is that we're going to face later on, that we can better manage it and not get in a crisis every time we have some sort of outbreak or anything like that. Because the problems that we're having now in the healthcare system in terms of bed space is pre-COVID. As a matter of fact, it has been for many years. So it's something that we really need to tackle at this point in time. And I think one of the reasons why we're not paying attention to it is because many of our leaders don't use our public healthcare facilities. And we need to pay attention to it, because that's where the most Jamaicans go to get health care, and we can't allow them to be treated in an inhumane manner and allow the staff to be blamed for whatever issues that they have in the hospital when you're not funding it.
In closing, are there any other recommendations or thoughts that you'd like to put forward as to how we might rectify some of or any other problems that might exist in the health sector?
Yes, I think one of the ways that we can move forward is to ensure that we always have enough staff, and one way we can do that is by funding the education, offering incentives for them. Of course, in return for national service for a particular number of years, you could say 5 years as a starter. So you could, for example, one of the major incentives that the nurses and the medical technologists, the healthcare workers have been asking for is housing. So you could increase the amount of money that they can borrow from the NHT to $15 million per person for healthcare workers. You could also, one of the things that we'll have to do going forward is to ensure that we invest in mobile healthcare. So just like how we had the mobile bus going around giving out vaccines, we'll need that mobile bus going around into the hills and valleys in Jamaica to ensure that we screen persons early for certain illnesses, especially in non-communicable diseases, and also treat them from early too as well. So we need mobile healthcare because there are some persons who will not seek out healthcare based on the location, and also they don't know the importance. So we need persons to go inside these communities and to educate them, and you need sufficient staff to do that.
All right, Jesse, James Clarke, thank you so much for talking with us this morning, and we wish you well.
And thanks for having me.
All right, all the best. We don't want the day to come when, because of poor conditions of work or meager salaries, we wake up and find that a whole lot of nurses and their assistants, medical technologists, midwives, even dentists, doctors, whomever from the public sector, health sector, have decided to accept other offers overseas. So we need to take care of them because they've done yeoman service.
That's right.
To this nation. It's now time for the Secret Sound Game. So far, we've not given you any clue. Let's give you first of all, give you the secret sound and then give you a clue that we have. And then we take your calls on 876-676-4996. Here's the secret sound.
Hey, all right. So the clue is, and cuteness, I'm sorry, but the clue is hair. Whatever that sound is, it has something to do with hair.
All righty
Let's
then.
hope that helps.
We hope so. First caller will tell us. Good morning. Welcome to the Secret Sound Game here on The Bridge, 99 FM. Hello, morning.
Morning.
Good morning.
Hey, what's up? Alvin?
Yeah.
Okay, you worked on this on the weekend, Alvin?
Yeah, I kind of work on it.
All right.
You never go bush?
Yeah, man. I will go bush I feel every day, man.
Okay.
I take care of the farm, you know?
All the crops coming on, Alvin?
Coming on in and out. You get to read some, have some coming.
Yes, all right.
And you.
Keep it like that. We appreciate what you do.
Okay.
Now, what is your answer this morning to our Secret Sound Game, Alvin?
Well, it's sort of like a plunger put in and some water to clear a sink or something.
Plunger
Yeah.
in water.
Yeah.
Maybe because there's a blocked drain or something?
All right.
So maybe the hair, which is the clue, stuck into the drain.
Yeah, Alvin, you know, say I think, Alvin. You're a thinking man.
Yes. I heard it, Richie.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Tell Alvin what go on. Alvin?
Quack, quack, quack.
I'm used to that.
That's what we used to that.
Take care, Alvin. All right, let's take another call right now. Good morning. Welcome to
The Secret Sound Game. Morning, caller. Hello.
Hello, morning.
Hi, good morning. Who's speaking with?
You missed the voice. Miss Confidential.
Oh, a long time I want to hear from you, know.
Yes,
Oh, go on.
because I've been listening for a clue.
So you got the clue. The clue is hair. You feel confident?
Okay, so I'm thinking it's someone using a comb to clean an airbrush.
Someone using a comb to clean an airbrush?
Hairbrush.
Listen to the sound and tell me if that is your final answer. You got one clue. Miss Confidential, are you sticking with that answer?
Yes, I am.
She's sticking with it.
Miss Confidential, my friend.
I take my
Yes.
leave.
I'm happy to tell you this.
I know you are.
Quack, quack, quack.
Okay, thank you.
OMG.
Oh, boy.
Let's take our next call, 7:34 and a half. This is the Secret Sound Game. We have a huge gift basket that we're trying to give you. Can feed a family of 6 and can even extend to feeding the community where you live. But you must, in order to get it, identify our secret sound. Here's the sound once again before we take our next call. And the clue that we've given so far.
The sound has something to do with hair.
Now it's time to take the call. Good morning, caller. You're on the air. Hello.
Caller, morning.
Yeah, good morning.
Hi, morning. Who's this?
It's Ray, man.
Ray. Oh, go on, Ray.
Yeah. Damn.
All right. So you heard the clue. You heard the sound.
Right. It sounds like when you're squeezing out shampoo or conditioner out the bottom.
Sounds like when you squeeze shampoo or conditioner out of
Yeah,
a
man.
bottle.
I know that. You make it stretch. I know that style, that rare. I know it. I know it, rare thing, you know. I know. But boy, eventually the shampoo got done in a rare. You know what you have to say when it done?
Yeah, man.
Quack, quack, quack.
All right, yeah.
Respect, Ray.
My God. Oh, boy. Richie says, take one more. So we
right.
will.
Morning, caller.
Good morning.
Morning. Who's this?
No, curious one.
Hamilton.
Oh, it's Hamilton. What going on, Hamo? You heard
good.
you heard the sound, you heard the clue?
Yes, I did.
All right, cool. So what's the answer?
Oh, I'm going to go again with the comb rubbing against a zipper.
A comb rubbing on a zipper?
Yeah.
The one that buffed the judges. Richie, I jot it down. This is looking serious. But you don't know. Well, I say stick with the answer still, but you know what's coming. You know what forward. Quack, quack, quack.
Sorry, Hamilton.
Jano.
Thanks for trying, bro. Better luck next time around, and to all the other listeners, that is what we have to say to you. Right now, we have the distinct pleasure of heading over to London, where we will, in fact, connect with our brother man, Robo Ranks on the beat, London 103.6 FM.
Yes, sir. Good morning, peeps.
What's up, Robo?
Well, we're in the building. Richie, you should know what's up, man. You should know what's up. I'm putting on this face.
Oh, Lord.
Yeah.
Oh, damn.
I'm putting on this face, but it is a face of, we have to accept what happened Saturday night with my team. I'll start with sports. Sorry, Shells and the crew.
That's fine.
Yeah.
We expected that.
I expected to have a party right now this morning on Bridge, but the better team won. And as you know, when you go to these top games, it's a game of fine margins. 24 shots against 2. And Real Madrid walked away the winner. But as they say, Richie, nobody remembers the losers in finals.
Yeah.
So I've quickly erased it out of my memory.
Oh, really?
And, onto the
okay.
Very quickly. You got to erase it and move on. The winners are Real Madrid. Congratulations.
Yeah,
and
definitely.
Let's move on to the next one. Bro.
Were you immersed in the crowd that greeted the team on their return, though? Many people are saying, hey, they actually lost the match. Even the coach is saying, boy, this is the greatest team in the world because we lost such an important match. And look at the welcome that we got when we came back home.
I mean, some people might think it's a bit, come on, man, you're having this big party and you haven't won anything. But it's what they were showing was support. Yeah. And come on, man, in life, that is one of the things that can send you, make the difference, send you to the moon. It's just support. We all look for that. And if fans roll out in their thousands to support a team, I'm sure it's gonna only spur the players to put in more effort next time around. I think it was a fantastic look. I'm more for support, man.
Yeah.
And if that makes the difference, then so be it.
Why not?
Yeah.
But interestingly, we have to admit that Liverpool came very, very close to having 4
quadruple
set of trophies this season. In all honesty, it really was very close and could have gone in their direction. Maybe with a little bit more effort or something, or maybe a little bit more luck.
Well, I think it's fine margins.
Yeah.
And they got a break. We didn't get a break. We had 24 chances to get a break. They had 2. Mm-hmm. I don't know if that's luck. That's just actual. Listen, it was meant to be. It was a great game of football. I thought it was a fantastic game of football. My second team happens to be Real Madrid, so I was kind of like, I'd rather Madrid win it 13 times than Barcelona, Juve, and of course Manchester United.
Oh my goodness.
There you go. Yeah. Or Manchester City or Chelsea. So well done to Madrid.
Mash some con right now.
I'm just saying, listen.
Mash some con right now in a bread.
No, but at the end of the day, I respect all the teams I've mentioned. But at the end of the day, if you ask me who I prefer Clarks and I prefer Liverpool and I prefer, when we prefer. Right. I wanted Liverpool to win. But so it go. Great final though.
Definitely.
Right.
Very interesting story coming out of the UK. So I'm sure you are aware of our UK, one of our most vibrant young UK dancehall reggae stars by the name of Steph London, right?
Yeah.
All right. So Steph London decides that she wants to actually put out a story that if you're aware that I don't do the dating conversations and who you're with and who you're not there with, but Burna Boy is a youth that has kind of like cemented his name in the Hall of Fame as bringing that Afro dancehall sound. He coined the phrase that he originated Afro dancehall. A couple of weeks ago, we saw that he sold out Madison Square Garden by himself. Now, Burna Boy and Steph London was an item for a little while, and he drops a single called Last Last, and everybody's going crazy because it's Burna. I mean, this is the nephew. His mother was managing Fela Kuti. He's like certified royalty. So he was dating Steph London, and then in come the two of them part, and in come the Jamaica stew beef. You know the beef, the beef type.
Yeah.
So she wanted to put out her side of the story because the song Last Last has kind of some connotations about relationships and what have you.
Okay.
So she makes the title of a song like she's the first. She drops the cover. She says 5 p.m. UK time, people. We are gonna drop my argument.
Okay then.
The whole of the UK. Forget the whole of the UK. The whole of Nigeria was waiting for this song to drop. And as I said, you know when Jamaicans do beef, it's not your regular beef. It's well seasoned.
Yeah.
Well seasoned. So we're looking for this song to drop, and she actually says she said if I get 40,000 comments, I'll drop the song. She gets nearly 700,000 comments.
Did she bring it forward?
Did she bring the stew beef forward? All right. So we know the population of Nigeria is like 195 million people. Burna Boy is an icon. The whole of Nigeria is waiting for this song. She drops the song, Richie.
Yeah.
It starts and she's like, okay, and you think it's going off. The beat starts and then it just stops like this. And she goes, yeah, mind your own business.
Oh my goodness.
So she played Nigeria. This little Jamaican girl has played Nigeria. Brother, I saw doctors, and you know the type of doctors me attack. I saw commentators. They were saying, you are cursed. Never you come back to Nigeria.
Wow. She's going to be persona non grata down there for a while.
Oh my. They were like, if you drop a new song, we're not supporting you. Steph London, you are this, you are. And obviously people just, they're so, social media.
Was it a missed opportunity though? Because that kind of anticipation should have been converted into something, even if it's not, highlighting the beef stew.
We don't know. The stew beef, it takes time. So maybe she's got a new single. She has got a new single. I'm sure Selector was been playing it with DJ Frass, really bouncing in the street, dancehall connecting, dancehall rhythm, and she's doing her thing. And obviously she knows she's got that whole cute urban R&B lane in the UK kind of locked off for herself. But yeah, it is a missed opportunity. If she had a new single at the time, it would definitely bang. But I
think I have the explanation from Stefflon. She was busy with the Maroons here in Jamaica at the time and did not get a chance to complete that recording. It will be ready soon.
It must be, man.
I'm just saying.
It starts, it's like you think it's gonna go because she uses, but apparently they said that Burna Boy's team got the track. She posted it on YouTube and it was taken down immediately.
Yeah.
Because it used sample of Last Last, which is right now, Richie, one of the biggest records in the space. And I have to compliment Burna Boy. Let me just say this about him. As you know, he's a giant. He's a Grammy Award-winning giant, but his father grew up in Brixton amongst Jamaicans. So Burna's whole influence has been, he says it all the time, you hear him, he says, I used to just listen to dancehall, reggae dancehall. So he's now created a lane for himself, which is Afro dancehall. So
and he's right there at the top of his game. All right, Robo, interesting story. We did see also Stefflon actually making that trek down to the Maroon Village. She was dancing up a storm with the Maroons and having a good time. And I think she also made some promises and or some contributions to their welfare. So big ups to Stefflon, Don. So our guest in this segment is currently teaching foreign languages in the United States of America. Her students call her Miss or Senorita or Mademoiselle. And that's something that warms her heart, she says. She came from humble beginnings, hailing from the Valley, a community located in Mount Salem in St. James. And she likes to reflect on her past, although sometimes she kind of gets emotional when she's doing that. She's now an author, and she's still a teacher, as we indicated, and she's our guest at this time. We say good morning and welcome, Miss Jonnea Kirlew. Good morning and welcome to Up and Go.
Good morning. Thank you for having me.
And how are you doing today?
I'm a little under the weather, but I'm doing great. My name is actually Jonnea Kirlew.
Jonnea.
Right.
Okay. All right. Jonnea.
All right. Thank
no
you for
problem.
that. We wanted to go back to the early beginnings, and we'd like for you to take us back to those years when you grew up, your growing up years in the Valley, a community located in Mount Salem, St. James. How much do you remember of those early years?
I actually remember a lot. We affectionately call it the Valley, but it is known as Lawson Yard. I remember quite a lot. I grew up in a big yard, so I had many cousins growing up, aunts, uncles around me. And what I really do remember is having good times as well. There were, of course, it is an inner city community, so we were surrounded by abuse, poverty, crime and violence, which really played an impact in my life. I believe it was as a result of the crime and violence which made me so driven and resilient to make sure that I create a different life for myself.
Enough respect right there, Jonnea. Now, so you spoke about, so you're saying that those experiences definitely impacted you. And what I respect, though, is that how difficult was it, though? I have to ask this. How difficult was it for you to make that decision? Because, you know, everybody is affected in different ways when they're coming from the inner city. But you decided to take the experiences and do something positive. You know, was it an easy decision? Right. Were there any peer pressure, you know, other influences that make it be like, you know, I have to take the positive route?
I understand. I grew up seeing young girls around me being pregnant at a very young age. With the crime and violence, I think my life changed when I got dressed for school one day. I was in high school at Racine High. I got dressed and I had exams that day. And I was walking through the community and all of a sudden I heard gunshots, and I had to, hold my knapsack, and I remember just running to go back home. And that day, my life changed. I knew that I did not want to continue to live in such a manner. When I see my brothers' tears and fear in their eyes, I knew I wanted to just create a different life. So yes, it was very difficult growing up, in poverty as well. But I chose, as you said, to use it for the positive. So even though, yes, I could have gone down another path, and that is very factual, but I knew I wanted different for myself. I knew that I would be, because I'm smart, I knew that I would be the change for my family. I would be the change for my brothers. I did not want them to grow up in the community anymore. And not the community itself, but witnessing certain things. It was the fear, because I'm a proud product of the community, but it was the fear that I saw in their eyes that really made me driven.
Jonnea, when did you come to the realization that you actually wanted to become an educator and even beyond that, to become an author?
I believe, throughout my life, I've had awesome teachers. I have the utmost respect for teachers, especially those in Jamaica. I believe I was around 15, and I realized that I had a teacher in primary school, Mrs. Camilla Brown. She made an impact in my life. High school, there were several teachers, Mr. Clarke, Mrs. Binham. There were many teachers there who made an impact in my life. They took time to pour into me. So what I wasn't getting from my community, I was getting at school. They were pouring into me. They would pay for certain things for me. And I said, I want to be like that. I want to give back to our nation's children. So I made that decision to become a teacher, an educator. Wow. I chose to become an author. I tried in 2018, but I just did not know how to formulate what I needed to say. But in 2020, I tried once more because my students, when I came back from France, my students kept asking me, Miss, how did you do this? How did you do that? And I realized that they just needed a guide. And I wanted to be for them what I needed when I was growing up, what others did for me. So I was like, okay, the best way to do this is to put it in a book. So it would reach not only my students, but the young ladies with whom I have a lot of care for. Like, I really care for the young women in Jamaica, the young girls in Jamaica. So that's why I decided to become an author.
Wow. Now, speaking of your work as an author, Jonnea, your first book, Awakened by a Dream. So let me just tell you this. First and foremost, I find that title very poetic, and it's already very interesting. But I'm curious, what inspired the name? And what inspired the whole book in general?
All right. I chose Awakened because when I was growing up, I just feel like I knew what I saw. And it was not until I got the opportunity to visit other communities that I realized that, wow, so people actually live differently. I did not know that until I was in high school. I was like, okay, so I can have something more than the zinc fences. They're telling me that I can have money and I can purchase certain things for myself and my family and to give back. And that's where Awakened comes from. The dream is being able to dream. And I just said very poetic because nothing in my book is about sleeping and dreaming. It is just the ability to ignite something in you, ignite your passion, recognizing that, guess what? I have the ability to be great. And we do, as young people from the inner city, we have the ability to be great. So it's dreaming. Guess what? I am used to the zinc fences, but I want the picket fence. I am used to not having food as I would want, but one day, if I keep dreaming and working actively towards this dream, that I will be able to live a certain lifestyle. So in my book, I'm really just using my stories as a map to guide others. So I chose the title Awakened by a Dream for that simple matter. I believe that I got the opportunity to see the world differently. And it was due to actively dreaming and working towards those dreams that I was able to achieve this life that I currently live.
Respect.
Awakened by a Dream. Mm-hmm. Is that book available locally? Where can it be found?
I am trying to get it in bookstores, but I have not had success so far. Mm-hmm. But it is available on Amazon.
Yes.
But I would love, trust me, because I wrote this for my girls. I wrote this for Jamaica. Mm-hmm. So I would love if I could get it in the bookstore.
Yeah, that would be a good thing, really. Especially with the kind of messages
that
you're carrying in that book.
Yes, it is great.
Yeah. Do you find it a distinct advantage to be able to speak several languages?
I do, and I highly encourage the study of foreign languages, or the learning of foreign languages. I do not believe that I would be where I am if I did not take that road. Mm-hmm. So I do have an eye defect, which caused me to decide that, okay, what am I going to do? Because I knew I was going to be the change. So I sat. I was home and I cried to my mom, I cannot see. I cried to my dad, I cannot see. But then it was, what can I do? And I decided that I was going to learn foreign languages when I was in grade 9. And I gathered everything I needed. I didn't tell my parents to purchase any book. I went online and I found the past papers. My mom even cried when she realized, because she didn't see me coming home telling me to purchase books. I went online and I decided I would print everything and study the languages. And it has taken me to Panama. I worked in France, Spain, Brussels, and now I'm currently teaching in the United States of America.
Wow.
Look at that.
And you'd have gained a lot of experiences in all of these travels and for service. Well, listen, it really has been a pleasure talking with you. I'd like to wish you all the best with your book, Awakened by a Dream. I certainly hope that you get it on the shelves of some bookstores here in Jamaica, and I hope it continues to do well, and that you will do too also in all of your endeavors. It was really great talking with you, Jonnea Kirlew, and I wish you well. Thank you so much. On that note, we say good morning to DJ Roy in the NYC. Hey, Roy.
We're there.
Morning.
Yo. That seals the deal.
Yeah.
Every time. How you doing, bro?
I'm doing well. Memorial weekend, Memorial Day here in the States. So that means banks are closed, the Wall Street's closed, and a lot of people are not working. Barbecues like crazy all over America.
Yeah.
Caribbean people jerking chicken. American people, they have hot dogs and hamburgers.
Okay. So a lot of rice and peas, jerk chicken, oxtail, and them things they're going.
It's too early for not talk, so still. Yeah.
Hey, Roy, it seems like that show on Friday night was heavily subscribed.
Yeah, well, again, we got to thank Bridge 99 FM and Irie Jam Radio, because remember, we were promoting it in December, January, and February.
Yeah.
It was sold out. They closed down Radio City Music Hall, and they rescheduled it for Friday. So they didn't even run one commercial with the new date because it was totally sold out.
Oh, it wasn't necessary. Wow.
Power Bridge 99 FM and Irie Jam.
Yes, sir.
See, that
we
is it.
run the
world. That's right.
Yeah, I got a glimpse of one performer, and that was Shabba Ranks. And also, of course, Xanadu, who performed Max Priest's portion of House Call with Shabba. That was well received. And then I saw where Shabba stepped off the stage and into the audience and delivered a ting-a-ling-a-ling, I think it was.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
He actually tried to do the wave, too, where he jumped into the crowd. I hope they caught him.
Yeah, but that's good. We had some successes here in terms of, promoters. There are 3 events that come to mind readily. Mocha Fest down in the Western Jamaica. In Kingston, there was, of course, Strictly 2K. Jam-packed audience. Elephant Man gave a fantastic performance, full of energy, and because that was all about the 90s music, so he was right there with that. And of course, another event, Footloose.
Look at that.
In fact, images are emerging on social media with thousands of people who were not able to get into Sabina Park. So the promoters had successful events. For the most part here in Jamaica as well. It's a good look.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, you can see the place is opening.
Yeah.
In Florida, they had the best of the best. And also, Dandy Shandy, Renaissance family kept that event. That was another well-attended event. I heard 5,000 plus. Bounty Killer performed.
Wow.
Bounty Killer performed. And people are asking how.
Yeah.
Via satellite in the venue. And it was a live performance too, so I got to shout out Jazzy T on that one. And one time the feed failed, and people were kind of getting a little antsy, but it came back, and Bounty Killer delivered. So shout out to Bounty Killer anyway. By any means necessary, now the visa, we've got technology.
See that is it.
Make it happen. Yep. Put it to work. We have a guest, Shells, in this segment who was born on the island of Jamaica.
What?
Grew up in Canada.
What?
but she moved to Georgia back in 1998. Can I tell you some more about her?
Of course.
She is, in fact, a chemical engineer by profession with over 20 years' experience in quality assurance management, engineering, and she is the president and CEO of EnviroQual LLC, a quality assurance regulatory consulting company that specializes in medical devices. Now, she's a member of the Georgia House of Representatives, representing District 105. Are you familiar with that district?
I think so.
Well, all right. We will become even more familiar with
That's
it
right.
when we speak with her, and she's ready to talk with us, as I'm told. We say good morning to Donna McLeod. Hi, Ms. McLeod.
Good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
I should point out that we just kind of condensed all of your achievements a while ago because there's a whole lot more that we could mention. How are you doing this morning? Are you in Georgia as we speak?
I am actually, and it's Memorial Day here.
Yes, wonderful. So a lot to look forward to. Congratulations on running for Congress. As they would say, even though you did not win, I want to ask you, what was your biggest lesson in that recent election?
Well, I think my biggest lesson is people. Good morning to your audience as well. I am State Representative Donna McLeod, representing District 105 in Gwinnett County, Georgia. And I think the biggest lesson is that we as Black people, as Jamaicans, need to understand the value of actually putting our money into the layers of government. And I'm not just talking about Congress, I'm talking about city, county, province, parishes, because you want to have a seat at the table and people need representation. And I think that when we don't put the money at the table, you get money being used against you. And in my race, it was over $5 million because they were determined to, have one candidate return back to Congress. And even though that particular representative does not know the area or the people that live there and what they really need. So, in fact, I had a call on Friday. There was, like I told you, this weekend is Memorial Day weekend, and they do have a lot of Caribbean festivals. And one of the festival in a county called DeKalb County, they found out last minute that they couldn't get a permit, and immediately called me because I'm an elected official that is of Caribbean heritage. So they wanted me to help them out. And that's the thing. If you don't have people at the table when you need them, you can't get things done. And to be honest, this was a different county than my county, but I have colleagues that live there, and I could have done something if they had let me know earlier. But that's the beauty of having people at the table in elected office, because money run a county or state or city or parish, because it's a tax dollars that people pay that fundamentally run government.
Although you did not come out the victor, though, no doubt there are things that you'd like to see happen in the state of Georgia, and no doubt you'll also be pushing for those things to be implemented. What can you tell us about some of the plans that you'd have had, whether you were in office or even if you did not make it?
Oh yeah, long before I even got elected, I was doing the work because I believe that people need representation. In the state of Georgia, we are still behind in expanding Medicaid, which would give people healthcare, more people healthcare, access to healthcare, which is just unacceptable since people are the government. The people pay the money, so they should get their services and demand a return on investment. And so healthcare is a big thing. We talk about, I know you guys have probably heard a lot about voting rights. Well, technically in the United States, people of color, women, Black men do not have a right to vote. They have an access, an ability to vote based on three amendments to the Constitution, the 15th, the 19th, and the 26th Amendment to the U.S. Constitution, giving Black men an ability to vote, giving women an ability to vote, and young people 18 years of age an ability to vote, not an actual right. The only folks in the Constitution laid out with the rights to vote is white men that own land. So, healthcare for me and education. In this country, we have a tendency to have a school to prison pipeline open, where, you underfund education and, you get your children prepared for jail. Those who might need some, that extra help. And we know that if kids aren't reading from grade three, they're more likely to end up in the school to prison pipeline. So education, healthcare, and the ultimate right to given access to all of this is for people to be able to vote and vote in the people that they want to have at the table for them.
All right. Now, thank you so much for that, Ms. McLeod. No, I'm curious about your journey, just, from Jamaica to where you are. Do you have any like fond memories, of Jamaica? Like what has been your experience, from Jamaica to where you are right now?
Believe it or not, I left Jamaica. I was 9 years old, and I can talk to my mom about all of my experience. I love Jamaica. It is the most rawest, strongest, straightforward people I've ever met in my life. They are part of my life because I'm Jamaican. So, my parents, my family around me are raw as ever and keep it real every day.
Yes, sir.
But, for me, some of my biggest, fondest memories when we talk about seasons, when we talk about mango season, crop season, I miss that because those are the things that really, when I was a kid, and just running barefoot, and just being free. It was when I brought my daughter now is 35 years old, but when I brought her when she was little, she did the same thing. She took off her shoes and was gone, run all day. I remember one lady down the street coming to my mom and said, "Miss Bev, your granddaughter has something else, see?" I promise you, my daughter come back, she black and dirty, and she looked, and she just had a ball because it was pure fun, and it was a culture. For me, our culture is so strong. No matter where we go, we make an indent. And when we are in something, we are definitely. It's clear that something different has happened. It's not the regular, and I'm proud of that because we are not like the typical. I don't think we're typical of anything. Jamaicans have this raw nature, but also have this ability to be practical. And when we do something, we do it at the very best.
Oh yes.
When we're bad, we're bad, but when we're good, we're very good.
Very
That's
good indeed.
right.
like yourself, my partner here on the New York end, DJ Roy, has been living in the States for quite a while too, and we want to bring him in the conversation. DJ Roy?
It's a pleasure to be a part of this conversation on Memorial Day. My question would be this, and again, voting is important because and the laws are changing, and it's getting harder for people to vote, especially in Georgia. Especially in
I was
Georgia.
a state legislator when they passed SB 202, so yeah.
Yeah. And I've been going to Georgia before the Olympic Games, before all the highways and all the constructions was done. What are we doing to ensure that minority gets some of these contracts? And what do they have to do? I know it's who knows who. I know it becomes a bidding factor, but do they get the opportunity to at least put in their bid to get some of these contracts, these major contracts that are available in Georgia?
Let me tell you, DJ Roy. Let's go back to the end of what I said in the beginning. Mm-hmm. If we're not at the table, we are on the menu. Having people elected with those kind of policies in mind to get through either a state legislature or a federal legislature, you need to have people at a table that's willing to put those kind of arguments up. In fact, most of your contracts are going to be done locally, whether it's at the city level in the US or the county level. And if you don't have people at a table actually advocating for people of color to have the ability to get contracts, you won't get any. I don't know what else to say. You won't get it if you don't have people at the table advocating for it.
What are we doing wrong then? I know voting is important, but Georgia kind of pulled it out for us in the last major election that we have. Do you see Georgia going backwards, or is it moving forward?
Oh, absolutely going backwards. Again, you have a bunch of people that are fearful. So those who don't know a lot about Georgia's a pretty large state. It has, there's a metropolitan area, and then there's the southern parts of Georgia. And so the southern parts of Georgia is a pretty rural area. It's pretty backward. So when we're in legislature and the representatives from the South, they're fighting for broadband and Wi-Fi and in metro, we're already there. So you have different needs. Yeah. And so with the laws itself on SB 202 that put things in place that basically is like a poll tax, which was outlawed back in 1965 with the Voting Rights Act, but unfortunately in 2013 the Supreme Court struck down Section 4 of the Voting Rights Act that actually had states like Georgia having to report, if they're making any changes to voting. And so, yes, we're going backwards, but you're going backwards based on fear, right? Of people feeling that they're losing some of their country that they stole from the Native American Indians, and they still believe that somehow they own this country. And if the country looks like it's getting a little bit more brown, then they freak out. And what we're looking at is people freaking out because change is happening. And at the end of the day, if you first treat yourself like a human being, you won't see that, you won't have that fear. You won't need that fear. Treat people like a human being. And that's what we're seeing in Georgia. The fear is mounting and palpable. And when people feel like they're back in the corner, that's when they become very dangerous. And that's what we're seeing.
All right. Well, interesting dialogue we're having. Let me change it up a little bit, though, Donna. What is on the menu for Memorial Day today?
So we have a county ceremony today. Yes. At our Gwinnett County Justice Centers, which is where something I'm planning to attend. Again, we had a shooting in Texas, so here we have another memorial as well. So it is a very, not only was it always supposed to be a kind of solemn holiday, it's become more solemn because of this shooting. And the shooting happened on election day here for our primary. So there's some parades going on, but I think this is really a solemn occasion. The Memorial Day is about honoring the dead soldiers.
All right. Great talking with you. No doubt you'll be going back sometime, maybe, and no doubt you'll do things a little differently, and I hope that you have different results as well if you decide to go back for election.
Well, let me just say I'm still a state legislator in the state of Georgia until January, until the next person is sworn in, so we still have to have an election for that. So in the meantime, I will definitely make sure that I'm always doing what I've always done, is work on behalf of the people and making sure people get a return on their financial investment with their tax dollars.
Yes, fantastic. Nice. Keep on keeping on. Proud of you. Great talking with you as well. Have a great day. Enjoy the day.
And people can visit me at DonnaMcLeod.com.
Okay.
All right, no problem.
DonnaMcLeod.com. You find her there. Georgia House of Representatives, District 105 representative there. Donna McLeod, our very special guest, and we enjoyed that. Huh?
Gwinnett County.
Yeah.
Big up.
Big up.